We've grown all week, Ninny Bong. I'm Engineer Hoist, and welcome to our year-end special, the Transformers Earth Wars review of 2021. The newsletter was really light this week. It's just information about the event. If you're interested, it's an individual event for a whole bunch of prizes, and that's about it. And so I thought this is a perfect time to go ahead and do our review, which has been doing it yearly for at least the past 2 or 3 years here. And let's say hi to everybody in the chat, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Hello to Oktar, one of our channel members. Thank you for your support. We've also got JK Prime, another member. Carnage McCart, Red Alert, welcome. RB Blade, Silverbolt, Smarty Dog, Big Bronze Rim, Super VH, Irma Jones Anderson, Fitz19, Aiden Allen, Piglin Plays, Mr. Creeper, and a lot of other wonderful folks here. And thank you all for being here, and hope you all had a nice holiday season, or are still having a nice holiday season. We got the New Year coming up on New Year's Eve here in a couple of days, and New Year starting on Saturday. Looking forward to that, getting out of this year. Hopefully next year will be better for everybody, but how about we go ahead and get to what we're here for, the Transformers Earth Wars Rewind of 2021. Let's see. As usual, that button didn't work until I clicked something. There we go. Okay, so we started off the year. I was very happy when we started off the year because finally, after long last, we got Hoist in the game in the Prime Deliverance event. Along with him came Crankcase, and they turned out to be some pretty decent bots. So they're not the top tier or anything like that, but they're really good support bots. I have a lot of success with Hoist on one of my teams. It works really well. I've got him paired with Optimus Primal. And Monkey Prime, as we call him here, send him out to with his ability to get everybody focused on the defenses. Fire off Hoist, and he adds that extra little healing and movement buff for support. Works really good. So I really like Hoist and Crankcase there for so good start for the year. And we got another good start the next month with a couple of combat bots, Stripe and Glit. The not the first healing style combat bots, because that was Rung and Shrewd, but these guys are more of the companion that follow you around and provide a level of healing for your bot. They're very helpful. I find them to be good. I actually have it works out to where I put stripes on Hoist, and so Hoist has his own level of support. Also have stripes on my blaster, which is huge. To keep that blaster alive during the battle. Very cool. Very cool. Good start for the year with the combat bots. And after Hoist, we got his buddy Grapple. And a kind of a wild card who caught me surprised, didn't even know about him. But Dirtbag over there for the Decepticons. They've got pretty decent little ability. And I use Grapple quite a bit. I plants that little bomb. It's got a taunt on it, so it draws the defenses, and then it explodes, causing a fair amount of damage. I do find sometimes that my team has made it to the place where he put the bomb before it even explodes, is taking it out. So the explosion didn't really help much, but having it draw the defenses definitely does still help. I like these two guys. The next pair of combat bots were Top Heavy and Sights. They're pretty cool little bots. They go on for gunners, I believe, and they actually give you a little bit of an extra, almost like a Warpath or Skull Smasher type of attack, where it shoots out in a straight line, causing a lot of damage. It doesn't go quite as far as those guys, and it's only every so often, but still, it's a pretty nice thing. It also helps that gunner tend to stay a little bit farther back than they normally would, too. Keeps them out of harm's way more often than not. But also, downside of that, it does kind of make them farther back, so the range isn't quite as long as it should be, so you got to kind of weigh the two there with them. But I do like them, and I didn't actually have sights when it came out, but it just so happens that I just got a figure of sights in with we'll take a look at it again, but it's basically a repaint of Pterodactyl and Pteraxodon. So we'll take a closer look at that once we get done with the rewind. It doesn't look at all like it does in the game, but not even the same faction, but we'll cover that. But anyway, I do have a sights figure now, so that's cool. Then we got Judgment Day in April. We got our next multi-faction bot. And this was a little bit of a surprise because Snapdragon was never really known to be a multi-faction bot, but they made him a mercenary. So now Autobots and Decepticons both get to have Snapdragon, and I think that's pretty cool. And it turns out when the toy of Snapdragon originally came out, they originally had him as a concept as a mercenary, but by the time he was released, he went back to his Decepticon roots. But in the game, they decided to keep him as a mercenary, as you can see by the mercenary badges on both sides of his chest. Snapple Dragon, as Fitz is saying there, is I think he's pretty good. It takes a little while before he gets good. You got to get him pretty well leveled up, but as a triple changer, he does have that dual attack that works with itself. It just shoots out the fire, and then you can follow with him rushing behind the fire, causing extra damage to everything. And as I've gotten mine leveled up, I find that he can, wherever you do target him, if you shoot the fire there first and then send him, he will clear that spot out pretty quick. So yeah, Snapdragon's a pretty good bot to have. Two flavors, yeah, Autobot and Decepticon flavor. Right behind that, we got another pair of companion combat bots. So this time they're not cassettes finally, but they're little Micromasters, Red Heat and Bomb Shock. They just drive around in their little vehicle modes, and they're basically like little gunners. They lob little bombs off at the targets, and can be quite useful as long as they don't get stuck on walls, which was a big problem when they first came out. I believe that's been mostly taken care of, if not completely taken care of, but generally they're pretty good little bots to have on. And being that like they're companion bots and they kind of do their own thing, it's nice that you can put them on whatever bot that you have available that doesn't already have a more appropriate combat bot. So it's nice. And by that time, that same weekend, we actually got our first set of combiners this year, because we actually got two sets this year. Our first set of combiners this year, Computron and Lyle Kaiser, were finally released. We had been building them over the course of 2020 by collecting all of their component parts. And finally, we get the combiners themselves there in April. And boy, these guys turned out to be really darn good, especially if you can get them to the 4-star level. And yeah, really good combiners. Where would I rank them? It's tough. Defensor, Volcanicus, Computron, they can all work really well when you're attacking. And a lot of it has to do with the bases. Computron and Lyle Kaiser, with their hacking attacks, work best when the defenses are grouped. If it's a really spread out base, it's going to be minimized, their effect. But otherwise, I think they're really good, especially on bases that are pretty well clumped, because they can cause quite a bit of damage. Plus, they also hack a little bit and can cause the defenses to attack each other. So yeah, definitely really good combiners to add to the game. Very happy with these guys. Then following that, we figured out who was going to be the next combiner. It was pretty obvious who they were because of these two guys, the Beast Wars Prowl, who a lot of people have taken to be calling Simba because of his lion alt mode, and Ramhorn from on the Decepticons, or the Predacons as you will. They are two component pieces of Magnaboss and Tripredacus. And looking at them, I really didn't know much about those characters coming into this event when they, or the couple weeks leading up to it when we first learned about them. And as I looked into it, I found out those were pretty darn cool combiners, and these two characters looked identical to the original toys that came out during the Beast Wars era. So it was pretty obvious that it was going to be those two combiners. And even though Space Ape was like, well, no, I don't know, they're being all cryptic about it, didn't want to confirm anything, it was pretty obvious, I think, to all of us who it was going to be. There was a question of whether they would be just a 3-bot combiner like the toys were, or if they would go and stick with the 5-bot combiners, but we found out later on which that would be. Uh, After that, next up, combined combat bots. We're seeing kind of a pattern here because that's what they've started doing. Each saga, which was began as like 4 or 5 weeks, I think is stretched to 6 weeks now. You're going to get a set of combat bots, and then you're going to get a set of new bots. And then every so often in there, you're going to get a combiner thrown in there, or you're going to get some other feature thrown in there. But it's pretty much combat, regular bot, and we're seeing that pattern emerge here. Anyway, Spoil Sport and Aimless came about, and these guys are really good. I like them. They can be used by, I think, gunners and air class bots, but I really like their attack. Basically, if you like Shoulder Pads Prime, aka Laser Optimus, or Avocado Megatron, aka Armada Megatron, their abilities, these guys basically give you that every few seconds. The attack will actually shoot out those little laser discs that bounce along the defenses, and I think that's pretty cool. The first time I had equipped into one of my jets on my Decepticon account, and first time I saw that, I was like, wait a minute, what's that going on? That going on? Then I remembered, oh yeah, that's from the Aimless, and then I was, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. It works really well. I like it. It's definitely a good combat bot to have. Not the best, but still pretty good. And then amazingly, right after we got the first 2 bots of the Beast Wars combiners, the very next month we got the second bots of those Beast Wars combiners. Normally they spread them out, so seeing them back to back was a real huge surprise, and a welcome surprise. But yeah, so we got Beast Wars Silverbolt and CicadaCon. That's how you pronounce it. Some other people have trouble pronouncing that. CicadaCon. I suppose if you're in the U.S., where the cicadas are common, at least from time to time, you know more about it. If you're in some other country where you don't have those bugs, maybe you don't have. You're not too aware of how you pronounce it. But anyway, enough of ragging on my buddy. But yeah, these guys are pretty good. They fly out and you target a defense, and puts a little swarm of either feathers or cicadas. Clearly the defense or the special ability was based upon CicadaCon with the whole swarm aspect of it. But yeah, they cause damage to that building, and I believe if the building gets destroyed, it spreads a little bit for a few seconds. I haven't used them much because I only just recently got a 4-star Silverbolt, and I haven't really quite leveled him up enough to put him into action quite a bit or whatever, but in theory it seems like a pretty cool attack. Certainly not the worst. Then we're sticking with the whole Beast Wars thing here with our next set of combat bots. It was a Beast Wars anniversary year this year, so that's why we started seeing a lot of Beast Wars stuff in the game. Rat Trap and Vertebrake. We're kind of hoping to maybe see Rat Trap as a playable bot instead of a combat bot, but hey, he is small. Kind of fits the size of a combat bot. And Vertebrake is another one that came out in the Kingdom line, which is of course focused, the toy line, which is of course is focused around Beast Wars. They both came in at the core class, which is a smaller figure, which is about the same class as where the Micromasters and the Battle Masters, the other combat bots, came in. So they fit based on the size of the toys. And I really like them. They're another one of the companions where they follow the equipped bot around, and it provides a shielding for them, and also every so often gives like a little extra burst of it, causes a little bit of extra damage really close by. And I really do like these bots from the very beginning. I mean, even the 2-star bot, I got Vertebrake and Rat Trap at 2-star real early on, put them on a couple of bots, and immediately liked them quite a bit. So yeah, there you go. There's Rat Trap and Vertebrake. Who's up next? We were really hoping. Hey, we got back-to-back Prowl and Ramhorn. We got then Beast, Silverbolt, and CicadaCon. We were really hoping for that third one, but no, we got a different one. So we weren't going 3 for 3 on building up the next combiner. But we stayed with Beast Wars, and we got Optimal Optimus and Transmetal 2 Megatron. And and Optimal Optimus, he comes when he does his attack, he breaks out his surfboard, and so now of course we call him Surfing Monkey. And Dragon Megatron, not really too clever there, but he does turn into a dragon. Another couple of bots that I didn't really use a whole lot, but you know, just testing them out, the attacks seem to be pretty good. Where it causes a fair amount of damage, very similar to Volcanicus or Predaking. It does kind of like the fire damage in a local area there, and yeah, pretty good bots there. They definitely look great, that's for sure. And then the next set of combat bots, sticking with the Beast Wars. Tonbot was a completely new one to me. Never heard of him, but there apparently was a toy of the character. Was never in the show. And Air Razor was a little disappointed to see as a combat bot because we did get a deluxe class figure of Air Razor, so we're hoping to see her as maybe some kind of a playable character as opposed to a combat bot. But their ability turns out pretty darn great. They're basically like an airborne version of Ravage and Night Stalker and Dial and Overkill. Where basically you equip them to a bot, and then when that bot goes into play, they follow along and they kind of do their own thing. But because they're airborne, they actually don't get attacked by many of the defenses on the ground. There's a few of them that will still attack them, but not a lot of them. So they can actually be quite useful when you have them equipped to one of your bots. So definitely be on the lookout for Air Razor and Tombot. I really do like these two. Next up, finally we get the third of the bots needed for those new Beast Wars combiners. We got Ironhide, the Pachyderm, is Sea Clamp, the Lobster, Rock Lobster, as people would call them. Yeah, so as ridiculous as that Beast Wars Ironhide looks, that's exactly what the toy looks like, and I think it's fantastic. You got to have some crazy looking bots every so often. And you know, the ability, I wasn't too sold on it at first, but I did start using these guys. Particularly, I got, because of some kind of a glitch, everybody was able to get 3 stars of both of these guys for regardless of which faction you were. So of course, I was building my Autobot side on my Decepticon account, and so I had him in there. I figured I'd use him, and I started using him a little bit more. And same thing with the C-Clamp with the Decepticons, and the more I used them, I was like, you know, this is actually pretty cool, where you rush them into battle, they cause a little bit of damage, and I particularly like the big splash that goes along with C-Clamp. Throws down some of that glass gas, so it works really well if you follow their rush with some other kind of an area of attack ability, like maybe Jazz or Mixmaster or something like maybe Blades or Dirge follow along with that or something. You can clear out a pretty decent sized area there, and so yeah, you know, maybe even I've even had success rushing them, followed by say Rhinox, Tarantulas, or Starsaber, Deathsaurus, and you know, really causes a big amount of damage. So I have grown. These guys definitely have grown on me. Starting to use them. But yeah, so we've got all 3 bots in play for that Beast Wars combiner. When will we get him was the question. When would that combiner come? Considering that we just got Computron and Lyle Kaiser back in April, it seemed like it was an awfully fast turnaround. So weren't real sure when they would show up. So time will tell. Following them, we got Gold Barrier, aka Shieldron, and Red Snake, aka Fangtron, as the next set of combat bots. Honestly, these guys are not super impressive to me. They add a little bit of a protection for the bot that they're equipped to, and they throw down a hologram of them. Not terrible, but nothing really much to write home about, I guess would probably be the... they're kind of mid-range. They're not terrible, but they're not great. They're not hurt to have. Doesn't hurt to have them, and yeah. So decent bots, but there's definitely better. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about them. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so next set of bots, we've got some more triple changes here. We've got Broadside. They finally figured out how to bring an aircraft carrier into the game. They basically made him like a hovercraft aircraft carrier, kind of like what do you say, the Avengers helicarriers, I guess. which is what I figured they would do. That's really the only way you pull off something like that. And he basically did do that, like in the comics, where at least the IDW comics, he wasn't like his same G1 aircraft carrier mode, but yeah, it works. And honestly, I don't think I ever used these guys ever since testing them, just because I don't know if I even got a 3-star of them. This is about the time that I stopped chasing bundles, so I haven't been getting all of them. But I remember they had like little drones. They had the 2 abilities. One was like a healing drone, and one was like an attacking drone. But honestly, I haven't used them, so I couldn't really say could tell you what's good about it. What do you guys think? Sharksy says, I wish one of 8 Faces' abilities was him as a gorilla rampaging throughout the battle. Yeah, that would be fun. So, Savage Tiger says, ability for healing drones is meh. Yeah, I figured that. It's kind of like... I would imagine these guys would probably be something like, for me, Springer and Astro Train. They've got the 2 abilities. They've got the defense ability with all of the missiles, and then they've got the healing ability. But I only ever use the healing ability from them to kind of direct them off to another bot that needs their help. I almost never, I can't say never because I have used it a few times, but almost never use that little rocket ability from Springer or whatchamacallit, Astro Train. But, hey, it happens. It gives you options. Just because they have that ability doesn't mean you have to use it. There's plenty of times I take bots into battle and never even use their ability, but they serve a good purpose as a gunner or a medic or whatever. So, Davish Tiger, exactly. Cup and Springer. Bounce Cup where you want him to go, then you send Springer to go help. Or Dead End, and you send Astro Train on the Decepticon side. Absolutely. Okay. And following that was a huge surprise. I mean, it was a titanic surprise. Oh man, it was right there in front of me, and I messed it up, but I recovered well. Finally, we were able to play as the Titans. You could play a new campaign. Of course, you had to be headquarters level 17, so this is definitely end game content, and the level of bots required to complete the campaign is very high. In fact, it's so high, my bots are not even really high enough that I haven't even tried. Honestly, I haven't even tried to go get them. I've got them available on the test account, but that's just because it's the test account. But if you've got a strong enough team and your headquarters level 17, you could go complete the campaign and unlock Metroplex for the Autobots and Trypticon for the Decepticons. And once you unlock them, they hang out at your base and help you on defense, and they will go with you into battle to help you as you attack in certain types of battles. Now, they don't help out in all of the game modes, but they do help out at least in normal day-to-day, and I believe wars they help out. But and then once you do unlock them, there's a whole bunch of new attack modes and types of XPs to earn, sparks to earn, and so you can help level them up. They just revealed that if you hadn't gotten the 3-star component for the Titans in the event that came out during this same weekend, now it's available for purchase in the game for 3-star shards is all it costs. You don't have to spend Shanix or any other special types to get 3-star shards is all you need. But you do need 20,000 of them. But that, I think, is easier to save up for, because most people, by the time you get to this point, you've probably already got all of the 3 stars, and you probably don't even use them. So you probably don't even care about sitting on your 3-star shards and letting them pile up to 20,000, where as opposed to like the 5-star part for Omega and Overlord, where you'd have to sit on the 5-star shards, which is much bigger deal. But hey, anyway, so there you go. So yeah, so playable Titans if you happen to be a high enough level. And right after that, we got combat bots again. And, I don't even have these combat bots because, again, I had to stop buying bundles. But Dazzle Strike and Giza, the thing I remember about them mostly was they do act similar to Lionizer and Catgut, where the bot that has them equipped, if that bot dies, these will drop down and continue to fight alongside. But I honestly don't remember the the ability that they grant the bot that wields them. so there you go. But I do like the fact that they will drop down and continue the fight. Okay, next up, finally Blur Miss Prime, who's one of our regular members, was very happy about this, I'm sure. And Runabout, we got Run Amok very early in 2020, or maybe even the end of 2019, and it took a very long time before we got his brother Runabout in the game. And I have we're getting close to the present where these bots I haven't used a lot. But yeah, Blur and Runabout I have used a fair amount, and I think they're good. That you can rush them in, and they'll drop little holograms behind, kind of confuses the defense, and they cause a fair amount of damage when they rush in there. And yeah, pretty decent bots. Again, I still got to get them leveled up and use them a little bit more. But I think they're all right. I think they're all right. And we're getting close to the end here. Finally, we talked about these guys earlier, Magnaboss and Tripredicus, and they look great. The look of Magnaboss when I first saw him, when Prowl first came out, and I went and looked up, oh, this is going to be like a Magnaboss. So I went and looked at Magnaboss. I was just amazed because just how crazy. I mean, the dude's wearing an eagle head. He's got tusks going around. His head is like a Ultimate Warrior face paint with a lion's mane. It's just absolutely bonkers, and I love it. And Tripredicus is also pretty crazy too, but just Magnaboss is just on a whole nother level. And I actually went in after not having the toys for the entirety of Computron and Loudkaiser. I was like, I am not going through a whole nother combiner saga not having the toys. So I went, looked on eBay, crossed my fingers that they were going to be available and not too much, and I was lucky. Found them both, and luckily we were able to go and be comparing the toys with the in-game. And yeah, they're pretty close, pretty solid. They took a little bit of liberties with Magnaboss's look there in the game, but it's pretty close to spot on. And again, I haven't really used these guys much because I just have them at the 3-star right now, and they're actually still leveling up to try to get them to level 10. I've been leveling them up pretty much since I got them. But if I recall, their abilities are basically just kind of like super powered abilities of the individual bots, where like Prowl was kind of like Cheetor and Black Arachnia, Prowl and Ramhorn, and so the one ability is very similar to that. They can just cause a little bit of fire or acid damage locally. Then you've got the Ironhide ability. And then you've got the Silverbolt similar ability. In fact, I think that's kind of the names of them. It was just like super whatever. So not particularly impressive on the combiner abilities. And that's probably why I haven't been in a real hurry to use them. But they look great. And I'm happy they inspired me to get those toys, because I do think those toys are pretty cool. So yeah, so really cool to see them in there, and it only takes 3 bots to form the combiner. Same rules as before. You got to get all of them at 3 stars to form the 3-star, and all of them at 4 stars to form the 4-star. And since you only need 3 of them, it should be easier to get them. So there you go. Next up, combat bots again. Roadburner and Power Punch. Another couple of bots that I don't have yet, and yeah, I'm completely drawing a blank on these guys. I think they're another set of the companion bots where they go around and help cause damage. Oh my goodness. Put all these slides together, and I should have done my homework. But yeah. So Roadburner and Power Punch, they'll come around, and yeah, I did. Must not have been anything to really make me be impressed with their abilities. You know, so Alphatrias says they're pretty good. Okay. They're Anti-Chromia and Fellbat. Okay, says PB2. I figured you guys would help me out. So So, oh, that's right. They're immune to like the EMP, right? Okay. Okay. So there we go. So appreciate the comments there, guys. And basically, we end with the newest bots, Rotorstorm and Spinister. They came out just 2 weeks ago. In fact, I don't even have them in my account because all of the crystals that we earned, I always save the crystals to open on the next stream, and this is the stream after that. So once we get done with these slides, we're going to go and crack open the crystals and see if I can pull Rotorstorm and Spinister. So the jury is out on these guys. I forget what we said they were going to be. I think they said it works kind of like the Sentius Magnus and Sentius Malus, where they're in the air and they attack. So yeah, PB is saying the same thing. So I'm actually looking forward to them. And yeah, so we'll crack those crystals here once we get done with the slides. And in fact, that gets us done with the slides right now. But I want to go ahead and give a real thanks to all of my channel members, including Latifi Henry, who is our newest one, just joined in this past week. Thank you so much for your support, and also thank you to our moderators in Discord and here on YouTube. I couldn't do this without the support of all you guys too. So thank you again for all of your support. If you want to also help support and you're able to, you can always join the become a channel member by clicking the join button there, and there's 2 different levels that you can support at if you're able to. It's not required, but definitely do appreciate the support. It helps me continue to do things like this and just continue to improve the types of streams and other videos and things like that. So yeah, thank you for all you guys. Cool. Where are the stream submissions, Fitz19? I gotta tell you, I completely forgot to put those slides together. So before we go in, so I figured what we would do. I don't usually do it this way because it doesn't work as well as I'd like, but I completely forgot because I used a different template to build the review. But I've got it here. I'll just bring up the Discord here. So, but yeah, it was about 30 minutes before the stream, and I was like, oh man, I totally forgot to pull the stream submissions. So I was like, I went ahead and made sure that we had it all set up over here. And so we're starting off with Bricks Motion, build designs and builds these transformers. They actually transform out of Legos, so this is really cool. Oktar, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I'm happy you have been here, and thank you for your continued support as a channel member as well. Yeah, so we got Cliff Jumper here, and Jazz is dancing on his hood. So we got a few of them. So and away we go with Power Glide. That's pretty cool. Power Glide's a difficult one to do. I'm really impressed that you managed to pull this off of Lego. You even built a stand for him. That's awesome, man. That's really cool. Sea Spray is another one of my favorites. So cool. Absolutely amazing. And this is what Highbrow. You got the whole dual helicopter thing there on his arms. And a headmaster to boot. That's awesome, man. This is what the Creo line should have been. This is what the Creos should have been. Oh, we're going over here to Spectre Spark. And got a nice little coffee mug. You know, of all the coffee mugs that I have, I only have one Transformers coffee mug, and I picked it up from Bobby Skullface at the 2019 TFCon. I've got Star Wars mugs, I've got Disney mugs, I've got some pirate mugs, but only the one Transformers mug. But this one's pretty cool, man. I like this. That's a really cool looking mug. And Fitz19, this is why he was asking if we're going to be looking at this. He got himself Ark for Christmas. Very cool. That's a really cool gift that you got there. I got mine ready to blast off back over here. I will say, dude, turn the forearms. They're supposed to kind of point backwards. But if you like them like that, hey, that's cool. But I'm pretty sure you're supposed to turn them backwards. Or at least that's how I had mine. But yeah, it's still, you got him, and he's pretty cool. And I love this picture here from Moorbot. He took his Rodimus Prime and got him in that classic pose from that you see Optimus Prime in when he's coming through the in the 86 movie, when he goes and transforms and jumps and is taking aim at the Decepticons right when they arrive at Earth, playing to the touch, isn't it? I think they got the touch in the background. So yeah, it's really cool. I love the picture that you got behind there. Looks like some kind of nebula. I think you got back there. Can't place it though. But yeah, pretty cool. I love it. That's a great shot with the blast effect and everything too. Ah, awesome, man. And we're going to finish off here with Mr. Creeper. Just got a nice roll call of some Autobots here with got Ultra Magnus, Optimus, Jazz, Wheeljack, Blur, and Cup. And yeah, cool. These are all well, let's say Studio Series. Cup, Blur, and Jazz look like they're the Studio Series. We got a Siege Prime, and I want to say that's Kingdom Ultra Magnus because that looks more like the G1 as opposed to the Siege Ultra Magnus. That's a Kingdom Ultra Magnus, and Wheeljack could be Kingdom, could be Earthrise because he originally was Earthrise, but he's been warming shelves at my stores in Kingdom. But yeah, cool, and you got the nice little edit for the eyes. That's cool. Really, I dig it. Dig it a lot. Thank you all for your contributions to the stream. Sorry I forgot, but I did get you up there. So yeah, if it says lol didn't use instructions. Yeah. Hey, you got it pretty darn close, and yeah. You got the touch, you got the power. Yep. Let's see, William Wilkinson says, did get a Fifine microphone with a mic boom arm for a YouTube channel, which is great. I think it might be like yours. Oh yeah, did you get that microphone? I know they sent me one to do a review on. It was like my first try at somebody offered, hey, we'll send you stuff so you can go and review it, and really it was kind of weird the way it worked. Is I had to go buy it on Amazon and then they paid me back afterwards or whatever. And they then not only do a review but also write an Amazon review, so I did it. It was fine. It's a decent microphone. It's not the best out there, but I think it's a good starter microphone. So I think it'll work well for you. I use my I use a Blue Yeti. It's about 5 times as expensive as that little Fifine microphone though. So I mean, that's a good starting microphone. But yeah, so. What things of the arc transformation are you missing? From what I can tell, you just got to turn the forearm so it points backwards. Just try to bend it. Just try to bend his elbow. I'm pretty sure you're going to see where his elbow bends outwards instead of forward. So open the instruction manuals. Yeah, that's definitely one way to do it. Joseph Arroyo says, by some dark magic 3 days ago, I got a Jetfire Sky Striker from a free crystal. Yeah, very cool. Always fun when you can open a free crystal and get that, get a 3 or a 4 star bot out of there. Always cool. Actually, just right before the stream, I was cracking my free crystals. I got a 4-star duplicate fire drive out of a combat chip, out of the free combat chip. So I had a little black magic of my own. So reading is fundamental. Yeah. Hey, I said we'd do some crystals, didn't I? Yeah, see, Wolfman's calling for us. There's crystal cracking, crystal cracking. Okay, let's go. Because he's got somewhere to be and he wants to see the crystals, and then he's out of here. Is that right, Wolfman? That's fine if that's the case. If not, I'm just giving you a hard time. Alright, so the one crystal available to claim, that's a 3-star crystal, and as we talked before, even though I don't have the Titans, I don't need 3-star crystals because they're guaranteed duplicates because I have all of the 3 stars for the Autobots. So I'm just going to let those 3-star shards pile up, so when I do finally unlock Metroplex, I can immediately get the 3-star part. Okay, so I didn't do a whole lot during this past weekend with the. I think I got to like 5,000 points on the 2 accounts or so, so that's those 10 Wintertide chests, and then I've got 22 of the what do they call them, Impending Doom chests, which could potentially have Rotostorm in them. And then I've got 5 premium crystals from, I think we got premium shards during that last weekend's event as well. So, did I get any of the bundles this week? No. Like I said, man, I've had to slow down on the bundles. I've had to slow down. Let's do these Wintertide. Oh, I should have done 10 at a time, shouldn't I? Oh boy, and Nano Frost to go along with the other few hundred that I have. Combat ship shards? I'll do that. The combat chip shards. Say that 3 times fast. 5 times fast, whatever. More combat chip shards. More Nano Frost. Woo! Oh boy, love the Nano Frost. So I suppose that makes sense that it being like Christmas time, winter time, you get the Nano Frost. Yeah, I am actually getting pretty close to the 5-star combat bot. I don't know if these are gonna. I don't know if I'm getting enough that'll get me there. But I should be really close. Well, let's see. Oh my goodness, that did actually do it. Wow. I was not expecting that. Okay. Combat chip. Which combat chip do I want? The current batch gives us the ability for glitch, sound barrier, stripes, top heavy, or red heat. Legacy 2, 5-star. Top shot, trench foot, run, dial, or smash down. I'd be pretty upset if I got trench foot out of that batch. But I already knew this going into it. Legacy 1 is the one I'm going for because I already have Lionizer, I already have Fire Drive, I already have Terraxodon, which means I'm getting either Night Stalker or Flak, both of which are fantastic combat bots. So I already knew I was getting Legacy 1. In fact, I'm going to get Legacy 1 the next time too to finish them off because I definitely agree. Oh, don't forget to scroll on the newest one. Oh, Spoil Sport, Rat Trap, Air Razor, and Shield Drawn. It doesn't matter. I'm getting Legacy 1 because it's Night Stalker or Flak. Can't miss winner out of those two. All right, so but we're going to save that for last. If I get Flak, put it on the blades. In fact, yes, I actually have Flak on my, I think I have a 4-star, might be a 3-star on my 4-star blades, but my 5-star blades is sitting there with no combat bot right now, so it would be really nice if I got the 5-star. Flak, so I can put it on my 5-star blades. 5-star on a 5-star, right? Yeah, buddy. He chooses, yeah, 50-50, but it's a win-win. Exactly, that's why I went for it. like I said, next time around, I'll go back for Legacy of 1, and whichever one I don't get this time, I'll get the next time. Alright, so we'll open 2 of these. No, I'll save those 2 for last. So we'll go ahead and open 10 of these impending Doom Crystals. So we're going to be getting a bunch more of these shards. We might, depending on how we do... Oh my goodness, look at this. 3-star Rotostorm. Awesome. Very cool. Let's see if we can get a 4-star coming through as well. I'm happy with that. But yeah, we'll probably have at least a premium crystal still to crack here in a minute. Maybe a 4-star crystal we get. Okay, so those are character shards when it was blank. And like I said, 3-star shards are just going to pile up. 3-star Rotostorm, very cool, and those 100 shards will help me get a 2-star. So that way I don't have that hanging out there. Alright. Keeping it going. I've been getting luckier these last few chance events with getting the 3-star. Still having a tough time finding a 4-star with these chance events, but I've been getting pretty lucky getting the 3-star out of them. There's another 3-star. Alright, so we got that. And we'll open these last 2. 3-star shards. And one more 500 premium shards. So we'll go back over here. Got a couple of premium crystals. Probably not enough for the 4-star. Real close for the 4-star crystal. But I don't think it's going to happen. Both of these would have to be, I think, 3-star duplicates to make that happen. So there's Hoist. And Inferno. There we go. Very cool. And the unexpected main event on the Autobot account is the new 5-star combat bot. Is it going to be Flak? Is it going to be Night Stalker? We'll find out in 3, 2, 1. And a pause for effect. It's Night Stalker. Very cool. Very cool. Alright, we're going to have to get him leveled up and throw him on one of my outpost bots. Oh, I hate seeing those guys show up when I'm attacking. Oh, we got a story. Almost forgot. Face facts, it was inevitable. What was Rotostorm? The call-up, broadside, the call-up. Still no clear. Look, what can I say, Blur? I'm an A-grade asset. A-grade something beginning with those letters anyway. I have talents that, well, maybe others lack. Sooner or later, the summons was going to come. You're saying you're better than us? Not better, Grapple. Different. Well, maybe better. Anyway, I have this rep. Even the Decepticons kind of know not to mess with me. Aware of what I can do and all. Okay, run by me. Show me how impressed I am. Well, there's my power, ruthlessness, fighting skills, but that's kind of a given, right? Plus, my cunning strategies and blinding speed. Second only to you, Blur. Let's put that to the test, shall we, Grapple? Heh, incoming. Whoa, how? How'd you know to duck? Ah, that'd be my dodge sense. Nifty, huh? You forgot the biggest thing you bring to the party, Rotostorm. Oh, what's that? Ego! Yeah. There you go. There you go. Voices, yay. Didn't even really vary them that much. Blur is just try to talk as fast as you can. Rotostorm is part of 2 Combiner? I don't think so. He made a joke in the IDW comics, and when they were facing off against Overlord, he made a joke, said, "Wreckers combine!" Of course, that was the last joke he ever made, but, yeah. What do I do? I gotta do this. Okay. And then I gotta do this. Alright. Alright, Decepticon account. Let's go ahead and welcome back. I'm pretty sure this is Tripredicus. There we go, level 5. And yeah, I haven't. He's been sitting for a while. I haven't been doing a good job of keeping up with him. And we'll send him back in later. And I've got a couple of other bots here. Fellbat, still working on getting him leveled, and Dirge, my newest 5-star bot for the Decepticon account. So yeah, I'm working on them a little bit. And Space Bridge. So 3 crystals to claim. The 2 G metal chips, which I'm not doing because I still need prime cores, and the 3-star crystal, which again, even though I'm not even close to getting Tripticon, I think I'm going to save up those 3-star crystals at least until once I start getting, when I hit 22,000, then I'll start getting 3-star crystals again. Alright, so yeah, I didn't quite go as far on this one, so I only got 8 of the Wintertide chests. And I completely didn't even realize I was in the Autobot side when I started collecting the premium crystals, so that's why I ended up with 2 Autobot premiums. Let's go ahead and crack these Wintertide chests. So Nanofrost. So if it's like anything, like it was like before, it's going to be Nanofrost and combat chests. There we go. We'll crack these 2 Autobot crystals. Hey, we got a 2-star Goldfire. Oh, and we're getting a 3-star. What was that? Lightspeed. Oh, I was like, oh. The brain didn't work for a second. I could picture it, but the name wasn't coming to me. And Decepticon premiums, we've got Drillhorn. We've got Cutthroat. Scrapnel. Scourge. And Guyhawk. So there we go. And we'll crack open these impending Doom Crystals, see if we can pull a Spinister. Character shards. Hey, we're lighting up. 3-star Spinister. All right. All right. Very cool. And one at a time for that last 7. duplicates 3-star Spinister. And last one. There we go. So basically, same amount of luck on both accounts. I don't think we got anything more, so we got no. Like I said, I'm leaving those 3-star crystals because even though not even close to being able to unlock Triptychon, I'm still letting them build. And there's where we are on the 5-star crystal and combat crystal front. Still quite a ways away. Oh, we get... we already saw these Goldfire and probably Lightspeed stories. Ah, what the heck. It's a long story, and by long, I mean 30 years or more. See, by trying to destroy the Vector Prime Core, I got sent back in time and... No, wait, I saw a little flicker, Powerglide. Right there, that tiny optical twitch gave you away. You don't believe a word of this, do you? Look, kid, that's a bunch of whoppers. Truly Titan-sized tall tales. But this one beats them all, Bumblebee. I mean, Goldfire. Look, Cup, I can only tell you what happened. I mean, this new body of mine didn't kind of fall out of the ether or my imagination. True, but really, time travel? Some secret government agency? Melody's mom? You sure you hadn't had a few too many of these refined lube shots? Never time travel tipsy, that's my rule of thumb. Yeah, what about Ramjet then? He was there and followed me back through the rift. The rift that's conveniently not there anymore? And Ramjet, well, we got a Ramjet. What's to say it's not our one who's developed something of a vendetta against you? Because as far as I know, Cliffjumper, that Ramjet is still on Cybertron. This is another Ramjet. Of course, there's 2 Ramjets flying around running into things. Silly us. What about this ripples in time stuff? I admit, that is kind of hard to rationalize. But look at me, look at me. Laser fire just bounces off of me now. I've changed, and I'm sticking to my story. Good for you, kid. In fact, why don't you tell it one more time? But first, get another round of loop shots in. It might just be coincidental, but this whole origin story is getting more likely with each retelling. Bartender. Oh my goodness. Alright, so I do not remember the voices for those Technobots. Earth, huh? It's very pedestrian place. Everywhere's pedestrian to you, Lightspeed. That hyperactive processor of yours creates the illusion of slowness. But trust me, so far Earth's been anything but uneventful. If it's not Deathsaurus bidding to build himself a combiner, it's Dark Rodimus and demigods. You're right, of course, Nosecone. I know these Earth Wars are critical, and I can make a difference, but you'd rather, all things being equal, be jetting off into the far reaches of space and leaving it and us far behind. Exactly, Strafe. Nothing personal, you understand. It's just the vastness of the cosmos, the sheer breadth of infinite possibilities. It equalizes the dislocation I feel here on terra firma. I feel a part of the grand scheme of things out there. But you're part of something here too, Lightspeed. For a start, you're a Technobot. We are a we. Together, well, we're part of something bigger. Who knows how big? Yes, forgive me. I am being indulgent where there is important work to do. Even here on this less than prepossessing hunk of rock, I am sure I will find something more my speed. Has anyone seen my laser rod? Come on, guys, this isn't funny anymore, if it ever was. My laser rod stands ever ready. Return it now or there'll be trouble. Or not. Oh. Whoa? Huh? Spinister? Where'd you come from? That's the thing, Crankcase. No one ever sees or hears me coming. Apart from them noisy rotors. Oh, they have a stealth mode too. So this secret cloaking system of yours? Where'd you get that from? Trade secret, dirtbag. And just so we're clear, I don't share my tech. Charming. How to make friends and influence people. I don't need friends, Apeface, or want friends. Enemies, however, I'm more than happy to add to my little black data track. One in? Enough socializing, Spinister. Your talents are needed. Coming, Bludgeon. You see, Dirtbag? I'm already in with the elite. My rep is all I need. For now. For now? What's that mean? Wow, the ball bearing's on that butt. If he's not careful, he'll end up sharing variable voltage harness digs with Starscream. Yeah, well, ego or not, Spinister gives me the creeps. With that one, it's watch your back, sides, front, and any other angles of attack you care to mention. There you go. So I got a couple of bonus ones. It's kind of funny when you unlock bots so much later because you're reminded back of the story that they came out in. So that's probably the only problem with their stories when you first unlock them, being related to the saga at the time, is when you unlock them years later. I mean, if you've been playing all this time, you remember the saga, but if you weren't playing at that time when that saga was happening, you're going to come in, you're going to get that story, and you're going to be like, what are they talking about? You're going to have no idea. Unless you're like a lot of people and they're just like, stupid story. I need to get rid of the story. Why did they do this to me? I got to get rid of the story. I mean, where's that skip button? But, yeah, I mean, I'm not mimicking anybody in particular, but I'm sure there's people out there that do that. Obviously, I like the stories. And I think you guys like the stories, too. But, yeah, there's definitely people out there who don't care. They're probably not nearly as... I was exaggerating, clearly, for entertainment value. Alert! Thanks for being here. Yeah, I'm sorry, I haven't really been seeing a lot of the chats or whatever, but have a happy New Year if I don't talk to you before then. Same to everybody else. If you gotta go and you can't and don't see you until then, have a happy New Year. I am Smarty Dog. The cutscenes are not important unless you like the lore of Transformers. If you're just all about the game and the mechanics of the game, you don't need the cutscenes. But if you like the whole saga, if you like Transformers stories, it's fun to go read them. So, you know. But I have been working on my top 10 toy list for a while, and it's just been... It's like writer's block, it's like recorder's block or whatever. I finally have a script written. I've got them all collected. In fact, they're hiding behind the Ark over here. That's why the Ark is sitting there like that. He's kind of hiding my selections. Because I realized, like, oh, they're like totally all in view. So he's hiding the selections. But I hope to... I was hoping to have that done for last week. That was what I was hoping to do, but it didn't happen. I ran out of time. But I'm hoping to have it all done and out at least by Friday for New Year's Eve. If not Friday, yeah, I'm targeting Friday. My plan, my hope is to be able to do it tomorrow, at least recorded and hopefully edited and posted. So that's what I'm trying to do. I did hint that we were going to have some. I did get a couple of new bots recently, so I got Jackpot here. This is one of the golden discs. Came in a little bit early. He actually arrived 23rd, so he was like an early Christmas gift from Amazon. I mean, I paid for him, so he wasn't a gift, but arriving early it was. So yeah, he's basically Studio Series Jazz, and like pretty much everybody else is around. His head is kind of like all wonky. It is not even or whatever. Some people claim that they don't see it, but I mean, it's very obvious that it's not flush like it should be. I mean, unless it's supposed to not be flush, but I'm pretty sure it is. But he's saying same as Studio Series Jazz. He's got the gun. It's nicely painted blue, and then he also came with sights because the Action Master Jackpot came with sights. So sights is an Autobot. Sights has been an Autobot, and I think when sights came out originally as a combat bot for the Decepticons, that's where I learned that Sights was briefly a Decepticon in some story or whatever, and so that's why he ended up being a Decepticon in the game. But in G1 Action Master, and now here in the Kingdom Golden Disc toy line, Sights is an Autobot, and he is actually a reuse of Pteroxodon or Pterodactyl. So and you know, we've only seen them as axes, but they do have a handle there, so you can actually wield him as a gun, as I'm doing here. But yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, he's the Jackpot here is cool and all, and I don't know, maybe it's just the paint job, but I don't know, he feels cheap compared to Jazz. I don't know what it is. I mean, the head certainly has something to do with it, but it's I don't know, it's just a weird paint job. I mean, I'm glad I got him because you know, Jackpot was on the Lost Light, and I do like that comic. I do have another Jackpot. It was a Collector Club exclusive. In fact, they used animated Jazz and made a Jackpot out of it. So this is like my second Jackpot figure. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's just weird. I don't know what it is, but the Studio Series Jazz, even though it's the same mold, just feels so much nicer, so much more premium than this. Even though this is really kind of the premium figure. So I don't know. It's weird, but anyway, he showed up, and then just a couple days ago, I was out shopping at Target and I found Tigatron. Tigatron, very cool. And he is definitely not just a big Cheetor. Very similar to Cheetor. The legs pretty much are identical and all that, but he's basically Cheetor, but the head transforms differently. It's kind of what it boils down to. It's basically the same. The head transformation is pretty much the difference. But yeah, he looks good. You know, he's got the nice teal color. You know, he's got all the white and the teal in the right places. The head sculpt looks really good, and it's kind of weird because he's kind of white in some places and kind of tan in others. Kind of like where whether it's supposed to be dirty or whether, you know, like if you ever see like a Bengal tiger, like a white tiger, it's not perfectly white. They've got a little bit of like a beige or a brown or something to them. So I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be doing. It's fine. It's fine. Honestly, when you're looking at the toy and you have it in hand, you don't really notice it unless you want to notice it. You don't really notice it. So that's basically what I got. Since we last saw each other, I do have a pretty big shipment about ready to ship from one of the online retailers. It's been sitting in there for a while, waiting for things to show up to. Because I don't ever ship. You know, when you get $150, it's free shipping. So when I get things, I wait. I'm patient. I don't have to be the first guy to have it, the first guy out with the review. Nothing wrong with that. That's just not me. But I let things pile up so that I can ship it to where the total value is over $150, and I don't have to pay for shipping. So that's how I try to save the money. But anyway, it's finally gotten to that point where it's over $150, and I can now ship it. It's actually been there for a couple of days, but there was one more thing coming out which I knew was really close to coming out, and sure enough, it came in stock yesterday. So I'm just waiting for that to kind of slide over to the next section, and then I'll hit ship. And I'll have a pretty nice big box coming with 5 or 6 things in it. So that'll be my first, because of the time that it is, and by the I mean, even if, you know, by the time it arrives, it's going to be the next year. So that'll be my first haul of the next year. So very cool. Patience is key. Yeah, I mean, yeah, as much as I want to do reviews, for whatever reason, I find it hard to sit down and do them. I'm never the first one. By the time I get something, somebody else is already there's already 2 or 3 reviews, and I'm not even talking about like the thieves. You know, some of you know who I'm talking about. But you know, just some people go in. They're going to find they'll put in pre-order multiple places, and whichever one comes in first, they ship that immediately. They'll pay for whatever the shipping is for that one item, get it right away, and then go cancel the other ones. That's cool. That's the way that you get it first. And I don't. That's too much of a hassle for me. Honestly, I've already got too many duplicates from having stuff pre-ordered, finding it in the store, and then forgetting to cancel the pre-order. I've already got too many unintentional duplicates that way. I've fixed that. Now I track what I have. Whenever I pre-order something, I put it on a list. So if I find something in a store, I'll look, oh, where do I have this pre-ordered? I'm pretty sure I do. Where do I have it pre-ordered? Okay, while I'm standing there in the aisle with the thing in my hand, I'm on my phone going to the store and canceling my pre-order. So that way I don't get any more unintentional duplicates. Sometimes, maybe I do want duplicates, like Gnaw. I found a Gnaw in the store, even though I had one pre-ordered. I left the pre-order up, because I'm like, hey, you know, I could use a second one. But then I found a second one in the store. And then I found a third one in the store. I'm like, okay, that's enough. I'm going to cancel the pre-order. So, I don't have a spreadsheet, Big Bronze Rim. I have a database. It's a database app for the iPhone and the Mac. It's a database. It's like a super spreadsheet. It was a spreadsheet before, but spreadsheet wasn't doing it for me. Spreadsheet was not doing it for me. So yeah, I found a database app that works across between my iPhone and my Mac, synchronizes, and so that's what I do. so. But you're right. I do love my spreadsheets. No, it's not SQL. It's a database for regular people. It's got a whole user interface and anything like that. You don't actually write any code. I could if I wanted to. I've done it before. In fact, I write queries in it's basically just where clauses. But I write. But sometimes I've written some queries that have like that query, you know, for one of our maintenance management systems at work. You know, you need to pull records or whatever, and most people are just inputting the forms, putting in the information that they want. Well, I want more advanced queries. The easiest way is to know, you know, first of all, I know how to figure out the table names, which is very important. You got to know how the database is built. So they have it to where if you know how to do it, you can write a where clause. So you can't write all the select statements and all that stuff. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's databases. Go find the database book. It's pretty cool. If you know how to do all that stuff, if you're in a kind of a technical role, it's super important, even if it's not really your job, to know that. That's one of the things that gives me a leg up. Anyway, so yeah. So mostly it's just you're limited to the where clause, and because but I have gone where like I write a sub select from like a different table to so I've gotten pretty advanced with it. So anyway, yeah, enough of the technical stuff. So, but anyway, the one I use doesn't do it, and I haven't even bothered to look to see if it does it. But knowing how the databases work, though, helped me kind of set it up the way I wanted to. So. I did, you know, actually, interesting thing is before I got into Transformers Earth Wars, I wanted to have like a way to track my collection, because you know that's the kind of thing that everybody, you know, as your collection grows, you want to kind of keep tabs on it, you know. And what kind of information that you wanted to keep is different. You know, I try to keep track of when did I get it, where did I get it, how much did it cost, what series is it, various different things about it. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot more information you could track if you wanted to. I was keeping track of the bios that were associated with each of the figures, but they haven't had bios in them forever. So, but there's some databases out there. There's some apps out there like Schmax, or I don't know. There's different ones that are out there, but some of them they don't do enough, and some of them are just way too much. So, but spreadsheet wasn't doing it for me, so I kind of wanted to have something of my own. So I actually was thinking, it's like, hey, well, if I can't find something, maybe I could see about maybe building something, at least for myself. Set up a whole website, and put a little bit of database behind it, and at the very least do it so I can pull it up anytime I wanted to. So that was kind of the idea. I wanted to build that. I was looking into, I forget what programming language. I think I was looking at Ruby to see if that would work, like Ruby on Rails. Then I was thinking, what would maybe Python, or because I had done PHP before, but that seemed to be a little bit much. But I heard Python was a kind of a pretty good language, or Ruby or something. So I was kind of starting to look into doing that, to maybe work towards setting up a kind of a collection tracking site. If it started off with basically just me personally, and if it worked out well, maybe opening it up to other people. But then the game showed up, and I got distracted with that and doing this, and I basically completely forgot about all that, and so so maybe at some point in the future I'll do it, but probably not. Got some crazy Excel sheets that would have been far better off as a database. Yeah, that's what I've done before. I mean, it's like I start trying to set up a spreadsheet, and I think about doing. But I start setting them up and starting to get complicated, and I think that's kind of where I started looking for database applications, because I was trying to set up spreadsheets, and I was like, man, this needs to be a database. There's just too much here. Yeah, I'm not sure what system you're on, but if you're iPhone or in Mac or whatever, it's called Tap Forms, TAPFORMS. That's what I use, and you can set it up however you want to. It synchronizes and all that stuff. So Python seems to be the new hotness. Yeah, I think that's what Facebook is written in. I mean, not that it impacted any decision making or anything, but. Got so much time on MATLAB, it's been an adjustment. I only ever used MATLAB for like a semester in college, or a part of a semester in college. It was like a controls lab. Was that MATLAB? iOS Apple ecosystem. So yeah, Tap Forms. If you look that up, I think there's a free version. I paid for it, and it doesn't cost that much. It works okay. It's not super high powered or whatever, but it does what I need. Fitz says, remember when Hoist was so happy about 1-star storm class? You don't remember that. You weren't here then. That was years before you even showed up. I don't think I even made video. I don't think I was even making videos when I was still posting on Facebook, my Facebook page, when I was happy about the 1-star storm clash. But you probably remember me talking about it, though, so. What's the best 1-star in Transformers Earth Wars? Pointless question. Starscream, because you can put a useless Starscream's crown power core on it. I mean, like if you have an extra Starscream's crown that you don't want to fuse or anything, you could actually put a Starscream's crown on the 1-star Starscream. That's the only 1-star you can actually put a power core on, I believe. Oh, Darzaska, were you even born, Fitz? It wasn't that long ago. Last venture's been upgrading a 3D printer to a main board display and stepper drivers. I've read to learn to build and compile my own firmware. Cool. Yeah, it's been pretty cool too. You know, the you guys know I went hung out with those guys at TFCon. You know, Patriot Prime, Bert the Stormtrooper. Fire Talks was there. Larkin's Lair couldn't make it, but he's in our little chat group or whatever. But Fire Talks and Larkin, they're both big 3D printers too. So you know, it would be, you know, I think it. I don't know how to get you in touch with them, but I mean, it'd be pretty cool. And there was one time, I don't know, it was a couple months ago. Bert got a G1 Scorponok at TFCon, but it didn't have all the parts. And he ordered some 3D printed those little radar dishes off of eBay, and they looked okay from the front, but the back was terrible, and he was pretty upset. And, you know, he mentioned that in the group, and so Fire Talks was like, hey man, you know, if I had some, you know, we could get some measurements and I could design them up and print them for you or whatever. And I said, hey man, I've got them, you know. So I've sent them off to Fire Talks, and he's doing a design, and he and Larkin, I think Larkin has like a resin printer. Fire Talks hasn't done that yet, so I think I sent him to Fire Talks, and he's going to design them up and send them off to Larkin to print them on resin or whatever. He's also going to upsize them to be able to be used with the Earthrise Scorponok too. So it's all kind of teamwork here. We're trying to get some good parts for Bert, and yeah, of course Fire Talks is going to send back my original parts to me, and I think he's going to throw in the upgraded parts for the Scorponok as well too. So, you know, the upsize for the Earthrise Scorponok. Yeah, it's pretty cool that day that all fell down, where we all kind of came together to help out Bert. Anyway, point of that was they do 3D printing. If you do 3D printing, it'd probably be cool if you guys talked. You might be able to trade some notes, share some files or whatever. Or at least if you want to do any kind of Transformer stuff. Yeah, I think it would be cool, but I can't find time to do other stuff that I want to do. I just know I would never find the time to do that. I think I'd enjoy doing it. I can already see it. If I were to buy one of those things, it's just going to be sitting on a table somewhere collecting dust. I just have a tough time. Yeah, I have a tough time getting things done that I want to get done. So yeah, I don't know if you go watch their channels, but you know, certainly you could comment, you know, with them or whatever. I mean, I could see about I'm not sure how to get you guys in touch. I mean, I'm in a Facebook chat group with them, but I'm not sure how else to do it. But I don't know. Maybe message me on Discord or something. Maybe we can see if we can do something out. See if we can figure something. What was I gonna say? Oh, I will say, you've done designing too or whatever, but you know, Fire Talks actually put up a video on his channel where it's about 30 minutes. He actually he uses an online design tool or whatever. He starts from like a blank slate and actually builds a gun like a custom gun that he designed, just using various different shapes and all that stuff, and for the build zone custom gun that he ended up printing out. So it was pretty cool seeing the whole process, going through the whole process. You know, for somebody who had never done it. See you, Fitz. Have a good one. You saw Picture Prime's Burger Soundwave video. Yeah, we've been joking about that. He made a video of it. Yeah, pancake or hamburger or whatever. I was cracking up when he pulled out the hamburger bun. He pulled out the cheese. Oh my gosh. Never a dull moment with that group. Smarty Dog says, my YouTube channel is basically Undertale based. Earth Wars would be a nice break from Undertale. Not sure what Undertale is, but... I will tell you, it's hard to shift gears from when your channel is focused on one thing and you want to try to do something else. It's going to be hard to do. Because most of the people watching you are watching for that particular type of content, so that when you do something else, they may not do anything. Because I get pretty decent views on any Earth Wars type videos, but when I do a Transformers review, I'm going to get probably no more than half of that that I do for Earth Wars stuff. And if I do something non-Transformers, I'm going to get even less because you know that. The people that subscribe, most of you guys are here for Earth Wars. I know some of you guys out there, you guys just, you know, you like the whole experience or whatever, and that's cool. I really appreciate that. You know, every channel, you're going to have some of you guys, so you're going to watch whatever the person puts out, and that's cool. But that's a small percentage, and I do appreciate you guys 100%. But most people. Honestly, you know, I'm getting close to 10,000 subscribers here, but most of those 10,000 don't even watch. That's normal. That's normal. A lot of the views come from not subscribes. That's normal. So it's and you know, YouTube has this whole algorithm, so I think that's another thing too. So maybe your stuff shows up. Maybe their algorithm says, okay, well, he puts out this kind of stuff, so they're all ready to shove your stuff over into this kind of search results or whatever. And then when you do something different, they're like, whoa, wait a minute, this isn't his normal stuff. We're just gonna, you know, we're not gonna share that out. I don't know how the algorithm works. I don't know if anybody knows how the algorithm works. But all I know is my Earth Wars stuff does really good. The regular Transformers review stuff does about half as good. Anything not Transformers does almost not good at anything at all. Usually, like the top 10, like the top 10 review usually does pretty good. But like a review of an individual bot, especially because I'm not the first one out, it's not going to do well at all. But even if I am the first one out, people don't come to this channel. They don't look for this channel for reviews. So like, even though I got that review of the Jurassic Park set out pretty quick, still didn't get that many views because people weren't looking at this channel. And that's fine. I mean, if I went and tried to share it out and promote it out more, you know, maybe it would get picked up or whatever. But I've done that before when I was first starting out on YouTube. I'd put the link on TFW, I'd put it on Cybertron, I'd put it on Facebook, I'd put it in this group, I'd put it over here. And you know how many people I'd get coming over to watch it? Next to nothing. So I was just like, that's all a waste of time. I'm just gonna put it out there, and people are gonna find it on YouTube with the search results or whatever. I'm just gonna try to make sure that it's searchable and stuff like that, because the links that I put out and all that stuff, with all the time that I put into it, it's just not worth it at all. You know, they talk about, you know, the best practices. Oh, promote it on your Twitter, put it on your Instagram, put it on your Facebook, go over to Reddit, go over to this, and go over to that, go over to this, go over to that, go over to that. So I look at my analytics and see where else the traffic sources are coming from. I'm like, where's the Twitter? Where's the Reddit? Where's the Facebook? It's not there. Nobody's coming. So I was going by their other best practice of looking at my analytics and see what works and what doesn't, and cross-promoting on all these other social medias doesn't work. So I stopped doing it. It works for some people, doesn't work so much for me. And that's fine. I just do this for the fun. Whatever money I do get out of it, I turn it right back around into the channel, like I said before. I mean, that's how I've gotten a better camera. You know, people have said before, you know, I've gotten a couple of the comments when we have gotten on together with the groups with you know, Patriot and Bert and stuff like that. They always make a notice of like, wow, Hoist, your camera is so much clearer, so much better than everybody else's. It's like, well, yeah, I paid for it. It's because my camera and my setup literally costs orders of magnitude more than them. I'm sure, because I mean, usually they're, and it's not a criticism. It's just a fact. They use probably webcams, or I think Patriot Prime uses his phone. Use it through an app to be his webcam, and it's perfectly fine. I was using the webcam for up until about a year ago. I was using a webcam, and it was fine, right? I mean, go back and look at any of my videos from like 2020, 2019. You'd see I was using a webcam. It was fine. It wasn't super clear, but it was fine. But it's really noticeable when you got a bunch of people with webcams, and then you got another guy with a $800 camera and a $400 lens. So that's what I was saying. It's my camera is literally 10 times more than probably what their camera is. So, yeah, pay to play, exactly. But see, that's what I've done. It's like, you know, whatever money I get from YouTube, whether it's the ads or channel membership or whatever, the stuff that I get from YouTube, I put that in a separate budget line. I supplemented also with a little bit of my own money, and I saved my money. I put down on a list, what did I want? How much is it going to cost? Okay, this is a lot of money. I got to save up. But you know what? When I hit that number, I went and I got it, and this is what you get. So I'm not making money off of this. I'm just turning it around and investing into making things better. It's still not perfect. I definitely like being able to do this now. And I even have another switcher where I can change the camera here. I only just have the one camera on. I do have the other camera up here. I could probably turn that on. Let's see. So yeah, so I've got my overhead camera set up so I can switch between these. I even have two other channels. So if I had other cameras eventually, this is just a GoPro. This is what I use to do the unboxing of the Arc. And see, this is my switcher over here. See, yeah. So I've got different buttons over there. So I've got a little Stream Deck here where I can control the scenes. And there's my keyboard. My mouse is over here. I got this other camera in front of me. You know, water bottle. My two lights are here. This is the one aspect that I not super crazy about. Because they're still kind of in the way and they don't really have a good light. Plus the camera, I'm not real super crazy about it because, I mean, this is okay, but I mean, it's just a small tripod, and the thing I don't like about this lens is if I get it close, it doesn't focus close. I have another lens. I do have another lens here. It works really good. You can get it really close for the focus. But the problem is, it's extra zoomed in. So I would actually have to bring the camera much farther back, closer to me, to actually keep everything in the field of view, so that when I bring it close, it's not lit up anymore. So anyway, so there's it's not perfect. So I got a little bit deeper. I got deeper than you probably asked for, but yeah. So, all right. So sorry. What were you guys? What were you guys not saying back over here? Yeah, that's right, Big Bronze. You have to do it because you enjoy it, right? Yeah. So sometimes this feels like work, and then that's the that's probably why I don't do the reviews. Sometimes sitting down and do a review, it starts to feel like work, and then I don't want to do it. Super Superfeed says, if I was a YouTuber, I'd say if y'all have any stuff you want me to do, put it in the comments. I might make a video on it. You know, I've said that, and people have asked for things, and I write it down. I say, hey, that'd be a cool thing to do. And you know what? I never do it. It's just I have a hard time doing stuff, you know. Quality gear really can make things more enjoyable. You know what it is? It's not just quality; it's ease of being able to just sit down and hit record for the most part. And there's a little bit of a few things I've got to do because I got to plug in the phone and got to plug in the iPad and all that. But the cameras all stay hooked up. The biggest thing I got to do is this camera's in the way, so if I'm doing anything else, I set it over here. But it's still kind of in the way, so I wish there was a better setup for this camera than right here. And also the lights. I wish there was a little something else I could do with the lights. But in general, everything just stays put. I mean, this camera here stays right where it is, pointed right where it is. I don't have to change anything or set it up. Really the only thing I have to move is this camera from over there to over here, and then everything is everything's good to go. So it's really, the easier you can make it to sit down and record without having to do a whole bunch of setup and rearranging, the more likely you are to do it. It's so quality is big, but ease of operation I think is bigger. I even got a different set of lights. These were just desk lights that I moved over into here. But the other lights that I had were sitting actually out here by me. It was far more crowded. These I'm able to at least have the bases back and kind of lean them forward. But this is definitely easier to do. Yeah, include the water bottle, but the whole time I haven't even taken a sip. About to watch a book of Boba Fett. Yeah, that was good. I liked it. That's all I'm going to say. It's a good first episode. First YouTuber to notice me during the stream? Well, good. Well, somebody will notice you at some point. It's I don't know what other YouTubers you're talking about, but I can tell you if there's a lot of people in the chat and the chat's just flying really quick, it can be very difficult to see questions and see individual responses. You're gonna miss something. That it's a guarantee. If you're just live streaming and you got people chatting, it's a guarantee you're gonna miss something. I miss stuff all the time, especially, I mean, you've probably seen here tonight. Sometimes I go on a rant, or just like somebody asks a question that I have a lot to say about, or even like during the slideshow, during the review, I'm focused on, okay, let's look at the slide, and then the key thing is one of the hardest things to do as a YouTuber, and I still struggle with this sometimes, is when you're talking to people, look at the camera. Too many people look at the viewfinder. So my viewfinder on the camera itself is above. So if I'm looking at the viewfinder, notice how I'm not looking directly at you, because I'm looking at myself on the viewfinder. A lot of people also have it off to the side, so they'll be looking at themselves talking about like this. Can you notice how the eyes, I'm not looking directly at you. It's very noticeable, especially if you start looking for it. If you didn't know to look for it, you know to look now. But if I'm looking directly into the lens, it looks like I'm looking directly at you, and that's a hard thing to do. But if you're doing it and you're doing it well, it definitely helps your video. But when you're live streaming, looking directly at the camera also means you're not looking at the chat. So now I go over here, look at the chat, and see clearly I'm looking away from the camera, but this is what I got to do to look at the chat. So that's why it's hard. That's why you're not going to be noticed in live streams, especially if there's a lot of people in there and the chat's just flying. Like I've seen some of the chats that people post of their Twitch where it's just like flip, 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 and it's just wall-to-wall emojis or whatever. It's like, how do they even address any of that? It's unbelievable. But I mean, you guys aren't too chatty, which is good. It helps me be able to kind of catch a lot of these comments. But yeah, but that's probably why. Will Rook be in the class of 2019 bundle tomorrow? Don't know. It's possible. Rook's a pretty popular bot. So, was it 2019 he came out? If so, then yeah, I would think Rook would probably be one of the top bots. Because it looks like they're doing the top, what was it, 4 or 5 in the class of bundles. So, do I have any more Toy Hacks videos coming up? No. I don't really do any of the Toy Hacks stuff. I did the Unicron one just because I knew Patriot Prime wasn't going to do it. He covers all the Toy Hacks stuff, and he does such a phenomenal job with the Toy Hacks videos that I just don't even bother. Actually, you know what I did over the last couple of days that I've had off. I actually sat down and I actually cleared up my backlog of Toy Hacks. I put my stickers on exhaust, sound barrier, which there was actually sets for 2 sound barriers, and I had 2 sound barriers. Slitherfang, there's actually stickers for 3 of them, but I only have 2, so I've still got a 3rd one. Bulkhead's Hobby became a member. Thank you so much, man. Welcome to the team and the club. Awesome. Really appreciate that. So let's see, what other stickers did I do? The Earthrise Alicon, Earthrise Optimus Prime, 6 Gun. I think those were the ones that I had stuff to do. So yeah, so now my backlog is exclusively Titans. I've got the Ark, I've got Scorponok, I've got Omega Supreme, and I've got Trypticon. Oh, you know, now that I think about it, I do have the Planet X Dinobots, but man, those are so old. I'll do them at some point, but like the recent ones, mostly I've caught up with everybody but the Titans. Oh yeah. But I don't really do. I did way back years ago. I think this is before Patriot Prime even was doing videos. I think I did a review of, they were just called repro labels or repro labels, depending on, I guess, what part of the country you're from or whatever. I always called them repro labels, like, because, you know, I think reproduction, but I suppose some people could think reproduction, but I don't know. But anyway, they're Toy Hacks now. There's no ambiguity on how you pronounce it. It's Toy Hacks. But anyway, I got the third-party, who was it? Mech Ideas, I think it was. It was like a top spin and twin twist. If you go way back, you can go find them. Oh, and also Thunderclash. That Battle Core Optimus Prime. It was like the white Combiner Wars one. They put out a Thunderclash sticker set. So actually, I did a video on that. Those I think were the only 2 that I've done. But I really like the way Patriot Prime does his Toy Hacks videos. It's very clear. It's very good flow to it, or whatever. So it wasn't my intention to start getting into Toy Hacks videos. I mostly just did the Unicron one because I'm pretty sure he isn't going to be doing the Unicron one. I know he's got one sitting there, but he says it's somebody else's that he's it's on loan to him, which says he's probably not going to do the stickers. Maybe he will. I don't know, but he didn't seem to be getting around to it anyway. So, and I had them, and I wanted to put them on. I was like, hey, here's a good idea for a video. So that's why I did it. Looking back, I probably could have done better, but you know, I just wanted to get it done instead of worrying about being perfect. And you know, sometimes that's what you got to do. Done is better than perfect. You know, they say done is better than good. It's kind of got to be a little good, but done is better than perfect. So that's why I did it. Puts a lot of time into his videos. Yeah, he does. He puts a fair amount of time, but probably not as much as you think. He's got a real nice flow. He's done enough of them now. He's got a system that he does. He definitely puts more time into it than I do. I'm sure of it. Yeah, his voice is kind of not. His voice is kind of, you know, bugging him. He had a good time during the holidays, I think. Or maybe he caught a bug or something. That's why he did that whole Soundwave burger, because it was a quick little thing that he could do to that didn't involve him having to talk. Yeah. But yeah, he's a cool dude. He's fun to hang out with. Oh, look at the time. We're getting out of here pretty soon. Let's see, what Titans do you think will be put out as playable characters next? Well, Metroplex and Trypticon we just got. So if they do it again, it'll be Fort Max and Scorponok, because they're the most recent ones that are that you battle against in the raids. So Metroplex and Trypticon were the first one to be in the raids. They're the first ones playable. So Fort Max and Scorponok are in the raids now. If anything, if they do another playable Titan, it would be them. I don't think that's going to happen. There's a lot of other like toy-wise that have become fit into Titan class. Like, you know, they've made Omega Supreme Titan class. They've made Devastator a Titan class toy. Predaking was a Titan class toy. The Ark is a Titan class toy. But from the main like G1 story, the only real Titans were Metroplex, Trypticon, Fort Max, and Scorponok. Any other so-called Titan was not really Titan, but just a big transformer. You know, some people might disagree with me. I mean, there's definitely some out there, like they'll say, "Oh, what about Metro Titan?" Well, Metro Titan isn't a real thing. It was just Metroplex had a different colored version toy, and people gave a name to it, and it's shown up in more later comics. And of course, you had the whole Titans Return line, which in the comics there was Titans as far as the eye can see, but generally, I would say that most people would name the 4 that we have in the game, and what I think is going to be at least the status quo for a while. Metroplex and Trypticon are going to be on people's bases. Fort Max and Scorponok will be your raid bosses, and that's how it's going to be for the foreseeable future. That's going to be it for the foreseeable future. Metroplex and Trypticon will be on your base. Fort Max and Scorponok will be your raid bosses. So. We won't ever see Unicron. You won't ever see Unicron in the game. He just doesn't fit. He may be mentioned, that like in a story. He may be name dropped. You know, kind of like Rodimus Unicronus, and you know how he was kind of working for Unicron, or as Unicron's herald or whatever. But you won't ever see Unicron in the game. He'll be name dropped at best. The Ark is not going to be that. The Ark is buried in the side of the mountain by the Autobots base, and that's where it's going to stay. Happy New Year, Alpha Trion. Yeah, it's getting late here too. Yep, the Hoist DeLoreans. Yeah. I still like that. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna follow Alpha Trion out. It's been fun. I did miss you guys last week. We're back. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, we'll be back on schedule Wednesdays at 8 p.m. like usual, and we'll be back talking about the event next week. Like I said, the newsletter this week was literally just the event. There was nothing else. And if you've got the newsletter, you know what I'm talking about. And I was like, well, that's perfect, because I was already working on the rewind, where is it going to fit, so that actually worked out. So I'm glad you could be here. And if you missed the rewind, just wait till YouTube's done processing the stream and go back. We started off with that. It's always a good time. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it. Stay safe, have a happy New Year, and we'll see you. Let's do the correct sign off. I'm Engineer Hoist. Keep rolling, my friends. We'll see you next time.